Good evening, Booze. Welcome to Tuesday night tombstone. Oh, wait, that sounds pretty good. I think I'm gonna use that does. I'm gonna use that from now on. I gotta get back from my mic. I find when I get too excited, I tend to get right up here, and it's entirely too loud for you guys. I know it. So I'm apologizing in advance. Something's going on with my camera. It is blurry, but I'm just gonna go with it. Hopefully, my presentation isn't blurry um, as well. But, yeah, tonight we are going I'm going to it's just gonna be a short-ish stream tonight. I have been so busy that I didn't get a lot prepared. There we go, now we're in focus. I didn't get a lot prepared. So, because I found 2 stories. One that was not expected. So I kinda went down a little bit of a rabbit hole with her, uh, but I think she needs to be remembered. And I wanna do her story since we are talking about, the cemetery where she's at rest. So I thought I should include her tonight. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna talk about that really cool tomb that we like. I think a lot of us agreed that it was pretty darn cool. I don't know, my adjectives and everything else in my like, I'm at a loss for words when I look at this thing. So, I did find a little bit more information, and I just found the family kind of interesting as well. So, I thought I would talk about, uh, the 2 tombs and the people associated with them, and then I'm gonna give you a little bit of, what would it be? A little advance of what I'm gonna be doing Saturday. So Thursday, I'm not going to screen. I gotta turn my sound down in my ears way too loud. Um, I'm not gonna stream Thursday night because I'm gonna come at you on Saturday, uh, early afternoon, probably like noonish, 1 o'clock, right around there. I'm gonna be at Rosehill Cemetery in Chicago. And I'm really excited because I know you guys have heard me talk about it. Oh, shoot. You know what? I gotta put your guys' comments up on stream here. There we go. Sorry about that. I get caught up when I go down these rabbit holes, you guys, and sometimes I need somebody to grab my ankles and pull me out. Yeah, I just really got caught up in this one story. So I hope I do it justice. And yeah, back to Rosehill Cemetery. That is where I'm gonna go live Saturday, and I need a little time to prep for it. So no stream Thursday. It's not because I don't love y'all, not that I don't wanna spend time with you, but 3 days a week, I think is enough of you guys don't wanna see me any more than that, trust me. Because the rest of the time, my hair is a mess. I don't have makeup on. It's a really scary situation here. So, with that, I'm gonna pop into chat, and I'm gonna say hi to everybody, and I see the usual suspects are here, and, I did say I was gonna start at 9. I had to do 9:30. I just had to get a few more things in order before what is YouTube doing? Oh, wow. Now they're doing something different. But hello, adventures. Adventures is the reason for one of the stories that I'm gonna bring tonight. It was, someone he mentioned that was buried or, well, entombed, I should say, at the cemetery that we've been talking about. And Metairie Cemetery in New Orleans, and I don't wanna leave the cemetery until I've talked about her. So you guys can all thank Adventures. Actually, I'm also gonna drop his channel link in the chat. Just bear with me. I'm pretty sure there we are. I think I have it. Hopefully I don't know what all these other hang on. I don't think I need this part on here. So let me see if this works. Hopefully it does. I've been checking out his videos. They are awesome. I like what he's doing. And if you guys like what I do, you're probably gonna like it too. So go check him out. Why can't I need to paste that? All right. You guys gotta bear with me on this stuff. I am getting better. I don't know if I'm getting that much better. So there you go. You guys wanna go subscribe to him, help him out. I think he hit 50, so I think he can start going live too, which, is what we all dream of, right? Especially when we're at cemeteries. It's so much fun. You guys missed it if you didn't catch my live, um, I don't know what to call it. I fell, and if you guys didn't catch it live, I took that out. So I edited it, did it? I don't know why I can't say that. I took it out. So now you can't see me fall. So you should have tuned in live when you had a chance, and I didn't even swear or anything when I fell. I bounced right back up like a big girl, and yeah, but you guys missed it if you weren't there. I think there was only like 3, 4 guys that were in there at the time. So, yeah, if you didn't watch, you missed it. But hey, I'm gonna be at Rosehill Cemetery, Chicago, Saturday, and I'm probably gonna fall. So just tune in. It's gonna happen, at some point. Yeah. Hopefully I don't fall down and hurt myself, but, mm, I'm pretty I bounce. I'll be okay. But let me say hi to everybody as I keep getting sidetracked here. I see Darlene is here. Hello, Darlene. She says Sissy is in the house watching. I'm expecting Tansy to make some appearance her spot back here because she's beating up her kitten, stuffed animal right now and doing some weird stuff. So I'm sure she's gonna come over here and torture me before long. And yeah, YouTube is being weird. I lost some stuff and then it reappeared. So I don't know if they were looking at my videos or what was going on, but a couple of them were or I just couldn't find 'em, which is totally operator error, and that is yeah, that's entirely possible. I know I'm yammering away. I always say it's gonna be a short stream. But yeah, we're gonna Dorothy Dell is up tonight along with the I always do this. I practice these names. Dorothy Dell, I love that she has a very easy name for me to pronounce, and I gotta remember not to move my hands around. The other one is, the Larendon family, and they had that magnificent tomb in Metairie, and yeah, um, Bestie and I were drooling over it. It's beautiful. If when I I'm not gonna say if, because we definitely will be going back to New Orleans again, but I'll be right back there, and I'll probably take 1,000 more pictures. So, it's gorgeous. We love it. It's very different. It's not something you see, typically, especially up where we are in the North. Yeah, they don't do stuff like that, and I'm telling you what, down south, when they do something, especially in New Orleans, they're doing it. You can't take it with you, so I guess their mentality is, "I can't take it with me. I'm gonna build the biggest tomb that I can." And I think that's cool. Hello, equal, and welcome. I'm so happy that you guys were Bestie really liked being on those 2 nights, and she thought you guys were all awesome, and she'll be back Sunday night, hopefully, if I don't break her when we go, um, cemetery exploring on Saturday. But, yeah, you guys were very sweet, very welcoming to her, so I appreciate that, and yeah, I'm glad that, I'm sorry I did get a little when we're together, I'm a different person. Like, I'm a little more crazy when I'm with my best friend. Um, I need to tone it down a little bit is what I was told. I tried, it didn't work, but hey, tonight you're gonna get subdued tunes just a little bit because 'cause I'm tired. I'm really tired tonight. But, and Adventure says, "I really appreciate you covering it. It was so sad, and I traced our family tree and read her story." Her story is Dorothy Dell is one of those ones that this is her story is probably even though she was a starlet and she did have some films, she was in a film with Shirley Temple, so that's a pretty big deal. Um, she could be forgotten pretty easily, especially in Hollywood. They have so many actresses come and go. that, it would be probably pretty easy to forget. So her story is um, one of the ones I want to tell. And I mean, we don't need to tell the super famous people because I think we all know their stories for the most part, and there's other people already doing that. Um, so even though she had her moment of fame, it was a tragic, uh, very short life that she had. She never reached her full potential, which I think if she had, my goodness, I think Hollywood would have been a little bit different. At least some of the big names would have changed maybe a little bit. She would have been some competition for some of the ladies back then. So, yeah, so I'm really excited to talk about her. She's gonna be up second tonight. So, first I'm gonna talk about the Laredens, if I ever get through chat, which I'm trying here. Um, and Equal says, "I can't stop thinking about the ladies who get served." It's to be a matter of, um I don't know if it was anything to do with hotties, but it was not a morning that Tombstones was, like, thinking she was gonna get some action, and that's not the way I was planning on it either, but, yeah, from now on, I'm gonna remember this, like, this is one of those things that you never think that are gonna happen to you, and then it does, and you're like, "Okay." I think Tombstones yeah. I'm just happy I had full coverage. That's all I yeah, that's it. I'm just glad I did. And hello, Stevie. Stevie, do you have a new link that I need to drop? Did you change the channel entirely? I need to know so when I drop your link, I don't have it wrong. I probably do, but I'll fix it and I'll put it on my list for next time. But giddy up, Mia B. Let's ride. We're in the saddle again. Oh my goodness, you guys. Let's see. Gonna go down. I try to do justice, Darlene. I know. I try to on these nights when I want to talk about the families and I'm a little bit more we're talking about individuals, I will bring tone down Tombstone, which is a little hard. So I try to do these when I'm tired already. and then I don't have the energy to get up and get crazy. So but yeah. So and Darlene saves lives. So, yeah, Darlene, you save lives, and I still have to tell Bestie. I'll probably tell her on the way to Chicago, about all the lives you've saved and about your other stories. So, 'cause she didn't know about the pens, and now I have to tell her about that, but I'm saving it. So, maybe I'll play her some OB. Like, maybe I'll put some, YouTube on for her, and we'll listen to some of the old stuff, but she should probably I think she'd like that. And let's see, I'm gonna go down. Hello, Ernesto. Welcome. Hola, Ernesto. Look at that. I'm learning Spanish, like 4 words, and I think I'm, like, proficient now, and I think one of my hairs is uh-oh, it's not mustache hair, it's just my hair. Um, yeah, you know what, Darlene? If you guys want to drop links, I will give you my approved list. There's only like 4 on it right now, but hopefully as we grow, there will be more. Um, right now, it's kinda sticking to the cemetery group, but then we've got some other friends like in paranormal and stuff, so I'd like to share their links as well because we do have TF, and Abby Normal, and a lot of people have come over here from there, so yeah, we'll figure that out. I'll get you guys I know you're in Discord too, Darlene, so maybe we'll put something in Discord so you guys can copy and paste them. We'll figure something out. Yeah, and that might be the easiest way to go. Um, I'm not gonna read it out loud. I said it was gonna be good tonight. So, alright, let's go. I'm gonna go down. You go Mia B is, like, going to all these frat parties. I'd almost like to say I'm a little envious, but, I don't think I could hold up very well at one. But I'm wondering if I'm this is gonna be in my future, if I don't know if he's gonna my kid's gonna be in a frat house. I kinda hope he just sticks to being a band nerd. That way, I don't have to worry about other stuff. I'm already worried enough about him. Oh my gosh. Oh, I I bought a what is it? A 1 TB thing for my what is that? for my phone for video and photo that you do phones. What is that? I don't know. You know, I'm stream amnesia. Sometimes I need somebody to explain things to me. It's probably something really simple, right? And I'm already forgetting it. Uh-oh, she's here. She just frightened her away. She might make an appearance. All right, I'm gonna go. I don't see blah, blah. I don't see Stevie either. Is he incognito? Oh, Stevie has a different channel. I think it's still Stevie, but he's just got a different channel name behind him. So, yeah. I'm gonna get his new and then I'll post it so that you guys can hit it too. So, he should be in here. Oh, the storage. Oh, I gotcha. The 1 terabyte. Okay. See, Fairly I just needed a little refresher. I've got massive amounts in my brain. So, all right. Since these things are so big, I don't know why YouTube is making them huge like this. I'm not gonna keep them up here for the whole thing. So, and hello, Rubicon, hon. Hope you're doing good. I hope you're feeling better. I think you said you weren't feeling very well. I hope you feel better. Um, let's see. And Adventure says he'll subscribe to anyone with similar channels. I don't have too many, but I do have some paranormal people, so I'm gonna try to get better now that I know how to post stuff. Oh, wait, I missed TF. Hello, TF. I'm gonna go down. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna do my little presentation first, and hopefully I have set this up right. Is this the one I want? I think this is the one I want. I might have to take the comments off the screen for a little bit. And Rubicon, I'm glad you're feeling better, hon. Yeah, I'm gonna take a deep breath here. Oh, wait, come on. Oh, no. I forgot I made this a video. I was having trouble loading my some stuff. So I thought maybe if I make it a video, I could load it, which it allowed me to load it, but now it's probably gonna be, yeah, so it might be glitchy. So let's see what happens. Uh, I don't why, why are you doing that? Okay. So I guess I'm gonna have to take off comments from the stage too here. Um, or actually, you know what? I know what I can do. Let me just fix the layout real quick. I'm just gonna swap this over, swap side, because you guys can cover me up. I don't care. All right, let's do it that way. All right, how is that? And now I can put your guys' there we go. That works out better. All right, let me get situated. I got little evil thing. You want to come say hi? Yeah. She's being super sweet tonight, but I don't think she'll stay. No, she might stay for a little few minutes. She's just gonna keep her tail in my face the whole time. All right, so here we go. So this is the Larendon tomb, and we talked about this big glorious thing. What are you up to? You psychotic girl. Um, so we talked about this one pretty extensively. We were wondering about the origins and everything else in connection to it. Uh, I still don't know, like, a whole lot about it, like, what inspired this tomb, but I did find a little bit more information, and I thought, well, while I'm doing a deep dive for that, I might as well look into the family too, because somebody took the time to make this for their families, so thought, why not? Let me look into them, and also hang on here. Somewhere I've got notes. Okay, there they are. So I hope I'm saying yeah, there can't be too many ways to say this. So it's the Larendon Tomb, and it was commissioned by Laurie Beauregard, her husband wait, commissioned for Laurie Beauregard, her husband, and her 2 children, and as I think Tiff was the one that had, um she said it was Moorish, and that is exactly what. I think this was from mausoleums.com. They have a big, huge page for the cemetery, and I'll link that in the show notes for you guys so that you can see where this came from because they have a lot of really good information about some of the other tombs that are in the that are also, at the cemetery, but this one is Moorish design, and the stone is dark Belgian limestone, which I've never heard of, but it's beautiful. So, it has these lobed horseshoe arches, and then there's a dome, and it is crowned with the Eastern Orthodox cross. So, I was pretty darn close when I knew it was an Orthodox cross, but I wasn't for sure where or what. So, this is, and then there's the circular stained glass window, and it's set up into an arch above the tomb. And, yeah, it is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I want one. I'm not Eastern Orthodox, but I might switch just so I can, put one of I guess I can put whatever I want on the top, right? Um, but yeah, it's gorgeous. So, that is what I found out about it. I know I think we had, like, 100 different guesses, but that is it. Belgian limestone, which apparently is very dark like this, which I think is very cool. So, I've got a few things on the Larendon family, and I'm trying to keep up with you guys and also have my note handy. So, trying so, the people in this tomb, it's Lori Beauregard is her maiden name, and Larendon is her maiden name. She was born the 21st of March, 1850 in Louisiana in a town called Magnolia, and she died at just 34 years old, July 4th, 1884. And you're gonna see why in just a little bit, because that date lines up with another family member. So, hang on to that. Um, let me go down. So she was the daughter of a Confederate general by the name of PGT Beauregard. I don't know what the PGT stand for. I didn't go any further than her. But her inscription on this says wife of Charles A. Larendon. And apparently the Beauregards are pretty well known. So I guess that's why you get a big old fancy tomb like this. But they do. I'm on Find a Grave. That's where this information is coming from, and they do have a copy of her a funeral notice. So I guess it's technically her obituary. Sometimes they didn't have obituaries. They would print in the paper like about their funeral, etc. So that's kind of like a um obituary of sorts, right? So, and hello, Tiff. And I found out about our really cool tomb, and it is Belgian, dark Belgian limestone, and it is Moorish design with an Eastern Orthodox cross. If you didn't hear that before, you guys, so you were right with some of the details there. So, and you made me go and look them up. So, thank you. This is the funeral of Mrs. Laura Beauregard Larendon, and it says, "On Sunday afternoon, a large number of friends of General Beauregard and of Colonel Charles A. Larendon assembled at their residence, number 355 St. Charles Street, to pay the last sad tributes of affection to the memory of a lovely woman, the daughter of the former and the wife of the latter, Mrs. Laura Beauregard Larendon, the daughter of one of the most eminent of Louisianians." Hope I s okay, I think I did that justice, hopefully. She's the great-granddaughter of one of the most distinguished of all of the old-time governors of the state, and extremely lovable and admirable in every relation of life. And it says that the funeral brought out, a large concourse of friends. There They were to be seen among the gentler Sox grand old ladies of the best Creole blood. I have no idea what that sentence was. Whom nothing less than such an occasion would have brought out from their own drawing rooms, while in the younger matrons and fair young girls, most of the old families of Louisiana were represented. Many of those were connected with the mourning house, held hold by ties of blood and marriage, and to a large extent, it was a family gathering. Um, there is a lot. They use a lot. They're very poetic in the Victorian era. I love how they say things here. I'm going to skip over some of this stuff because there's a whole lot of. There is apparently. Well, I'm going to give it a try. So, among the gentlemen that were present, there was a General Francis Nichols, Count Paul de Bazet, Consul General for the French Republic, and Count MC. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna kill this. Maybe I'll just not say his name. Um, yeah, but I'll post this so you guys can go look at it if you want. And then the Council of the King of Italy, Mr. H. Tremole. I'm probably not doing that justice either. And then a General John Glenn Jr. and many others. It says in the front parlor, beneath a bower of white and pale pink roses, reposed all that was mortal of this fair woman, while in an adjoining room, in a cradle of can't read that part. Oh, they've got a little question mark. Beneath curtains of gauze slept the infant daughter who was never to realize her loss, and unconscious happily of the presence of the dread messenger who had come to summon away the dearest of all human friends, a mother. General Beauregard, who had been absent from the city when the news of his daughter's illness had reached him, had hurried away and was present with his two sons to say a last farewell. Many beautiful and exquisitely wrought floral tributes had been brought by friends and were disposed upon and around the burial casket, in which the sweet and marble features of the dead preserved an expression of great gentleness and serenity, and they showed a strong likeness to her distinguished father. And then it just talks about the funeral services were celebrated by Reverend Joseph LeBeer of St. Teresa's Church. And when the prayers had been said, the remains were taken to Metairie Cemetery, where they were laid away in a new vault in the presence of numerous friends who had attended from the city. And there's a lot of talk about all the rest of it, but I'm going to leave that. And this was dated Sunday, July 6th, 1884. And I think, oh, it says here, um, hang on, gotta get down here. She died of what was called milk leg 8 weeks after giving. Would you calm down? My God, if she starts walking on the ceiling, you guys, I gotta go call a priest. Um, and hopefully I'm gonna say this right. Iliofemoral thrombophlebitis, and it was caused by inflammation of the femoral vein. And this was 8 weeks after giving birth to her daughter, Lori. Um, Another daughter, Lillian, died of diphtheria as a child. So that is what she died from. I have never heard of milk leg, and we are learning so much. I don't know about you guys. I'm at least learning a lot. So, Laura was the first one to be buried here. I'm gonna hit play, and we'll see that is the inscription. The last person to be buried in the tomb was their daughter, Lori Larendon, who apparently is named after her mother. And her mother died 8 weeks after giving birth to her. I'm going to go a little further. And that is her, which that is the coolest dress I think I have ever seen. Gonna pop that up. So that's the mother. Lori Beauregard. I don't know why that name is so hard to say. Now that is the father or the husband. Oops, I gotta go back. Yeah, I knew this might not work out the way I wanted it to, but I'm gonna learn. This is the father, Charles Larendon, and I'm sorry, but you gotta love that mustache and you gotta love that bicycle because I want one like that. I think it's really cool, and that is him. I'm not sure there wasn't a date on it, but this is a photo on his find a grave, and I really like it. Definitely a man of his time. And this is their daughter who died of diphtheria. This is Lillian, and I think this is absolutely a beautiful portrait. It looks like she would have been a little sassy thing too. Just her dress, just gorgeous. And the next one should be the surviving daughter, and this is Lori. And Lori never married, and she was known to be quite a beauty, and she was a star debutante, which, uh yeah, those days are long gone, but well, at least for I think most of the world, I think they do still continue on in some places, but yeah, she never married. She was, considered I guess she was quite a catch. Her family was pretty wealthy, so why she never married, I don't know, but, um, maybe she just didn't want to. I don't yeah, good for her. Alright, and I'm gonna finish is that the last part of this one? I don't know what she's down there. And this was just a, article that I found, and this is the late general. This is when he passed away, but, Lori was considered his favorite granddaughter, and I guess when her mother passed away, the grandpa and the dad smothered her with attention, and she pretty much had a very lovely life. I mean, she was a little rich girl anyway. I mean, it couldn't have been too bad for her. But yeah, they took um bec- both of them were which, I don't know if men in the Victorian era really were that hands-on for raising children. I don't especially the rich fathers. I don't think that was normal. So, just the fact that these 2 men stepped in after the death of her mother, and, I mean, they showered her with affection, and, yeah, it seems like a pretty sweet story, so, maybe she figured, "Hey, I had this amazing grandpa, I had an amazing father, no other men could compare." And I kinda get that. I had an amazing grandpa who, I'm telling you, they broke the mold with him, so I 100% understand if that was her reasoning. But, so that's the story of there wasn't a lot. I mean, not a spectacular story, but still, it was a very cool tomb, and I thought, well, we might as well share a little information about them. Um, Apparently, Mr. or General Beauregard, he has a statue that is in City Park in New Orleans. I didn't get to see it, but next time I go, I will grab some photos of it, and she is hanging off the curtains right now. They gave her some temptation treats, and apparently, the catnip isn't gonna put her to sleep, it's just gonna oh my god. You hear a loud crash, that's just my curtains being pulled off the wall, so, um, Tiff, how do you spell it? Which word do you want me to spell? Or, was it from the article? It was like I wanna say it's Mufasa, but I'm pretty sure that's not it, and I don't wanna get yelled at. And the light in front of the bike, that was so when they rode out on the country roads, they had a light. Um, that was the headlamp, and I think it was like a little I'm not sure if that I know my grandma had a bike, and I think it was, like it had a little light on the front of it, and the more you pedaled, like, the brighter the light got. I don't know if that's what this one is, if that's, like, the same thing, but, maybe. Either that or it might be actually a little kerosene lantern. Might be actually probably what it is, maybe, like, gas or not gas, oil or something in there, but Yeah, it's pretty cool. I love that bike. I want one like that. I wish I knew what happened to my grandma's old bike, but, yeah, it would probably be completely rusted by now. Alright, I'll play forward here real quick, and then I'll see if you guys have any questions, and she is on a tear. She is, yeah, on a tangent tonight, little Miss Pansy. Okay, I'm gonna pause it there 'cause that is our next story. And I will post I did put the Discord link up at the top. I pinned it. So if I think I'm gonna start well, I've said this a couple times. Oh my god, I gotta be really still. I'm afraid she's oh, that hurt. I'm gonna start posting all the articles that I use. So like all my source material, I'm gonna start putting that, maybe like doing a thread or something in the Discord. So if you guys want to go read these articles, and all of that, you can. So if I leave stuff out for time purposes, yeah, then you guys don't miss it. So, but I wonder if that I seems like they had some dignitaries from around the world. So I think that was pretty cool. So they must have been something. Um, all right. So Mia says, yeah, oil lamp. I bet it was. Like maybe like I don't know. Didn't they have kerosene already back then? I don't remember. It looks like and I don't think the father, I think what did it say? Here, let me look at their find a grave here real quick. I'll put a link for their find a graves too. Um, let's see. Charles Aaron Larendon. Let me go down here. Oh, well, he was just the wife. He was just the son-in-law of General Beauregard. That's it. That's all he had. That was all he had to suggest him. Uh, he died, let's see, he was born February 14th, Valentine's Day, 1840. He passed away December 26th, 1918 at the ripe old age of 78. And their daughter, Lori, um, she was born wait, nope, wrong Lori. Sorry, I clicked the wrong one. So Lori Beauregard Larendon was born 26th June 1884, uh, and she passed away in Atlanta on January 22nd, 1971, and she lived to be 86. So she had a good long life. Um, yeah, no big stories on hers either. And Lillian, the little girl in the portrait, she was just 6 years old when she passed away, and it does say diphtheria. All right. I'm gonna put that back up here since I don't need those. I don't know, it's gonna do what it wants to do, I think. So, we're gonna move on to a beautiful lady, another beautiful lady. Um, let's see. I'm gonna go down up here. Oh, are you guys all everybody's trying to figure out the horizontal. Oh, I'm gonna try I wonder if I can do something like label like, maybe I'll put like a star for you guys. Will that help for everybody that wants to be in the chat, in the horizontal chat? Maybe I'll like put a little star or something in front of the once I've posted it. I think I can do that. I'll try. I'll see what I can do. If you guys see a little symbol or something in front of it, that'll be the horizontal chat. I'm not 100% sure if I can do it, but if I can, I'll try. Oh god. I got to stop moving my hands, but all right. I'm going to talk about Dorothy Dell next. And I've got to wet my whistle and get going here. So, so we're still at the same cemetery. Um, why did I just blink out Metairie Cemetery in New Orleans? So sorry, guys. I am having some I am having some problems tonight. And this is the tomb of Dorothy Dell. And this is when I was talking about as we pulled into the cemetery, there's the older side and then we're gonna say the newer side, and even though it's the newer side, it's not that new. There's some pretty old tombs, and, Dorothy's is from 1934, so that should give you a little idea how new some of these are. But, yeah, so this is her tomb. This is just a couple rows back from there's a big grassy section just as you pull in. I should have put a map up, so I'm sorry that I didn't do that. I always think of these things later, but she's they're all lined up so pretty. There's a tomb, and then there's, another burial space for an in-ground burial, then there's a tomb, and, like, they alternate. So it's really pretty how they have it set up, and this is hers, and like I said, One Step Adventures, this is what he wanted, this is what he mentioned the other time, and kinda made me look into her story a little bit, and I'm like, "Well, she's buried there, we should talk about it." And so that's who we're gonna talk about tonight. And hello, Girl Ryan, and welcome. Um, uh-oh. I'm s Girl Ryan, I would not wanna be in your shoes for $1,000,000. I'm sorry it was a dud. Oh, goodness. Those are the worst. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna hit play. I'm gonna hope this video runs right. I think it's making me really glitchy, but it is. So, let me pull up my notes on Miss Dorothy, and I hope I got these all in the right order. I pulled so many articles off newspapers.com, and oh my goodness, there was some contradicting information that I found between Find a Grave, the newspapers.com articles from the I mean, they did like to sensationalize news stories back in the day, so it's probably why there's a little bit of difference between some of the sources. Not shocking at all. And I also have, I'll post all my references so that you guys see them. But there was a lot of articles because you can imagine, I mean, anyone that's in Hollywood, they're gonna the press is gonna get after it. So, we're gonna talk about Dorothy Dell Goff. Let me get a photo of her up here real quick. I think these are out of order, but yeah, they are out of order because I didn't wanna start with I wanted to start with a photo of her. Grr. Alright, hang on. I'm gonna find one so that I can tell yeah, I totally messed my own there she is. We'll leave it on that one, and then I'll go back and do her story. Here we go. So Dorothy Dell Goff, she was born January 30th, 1915 in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. But she grew up mostly in New Orleans, and she is the older or was the older of 2 daughters of Albert or Elba. He went by both, it seems. I saw it written 2 different places, and he was a pretty well-to-do lumberman, and her mother's name was Lillian H. Goff. And by Dorothy's early teens, she was considered a beauty. She had won a baby contest at, like, 15 months old, like, as the most beautiful baby. So, and it just went from there. After that, she was in a lot of beauty pageants. She would win them. I mean, obviously, look at her here. Um, she just got more beautiful the older that she got. And they said that not only was she pretty, she was very kind as well. She was very nice. And this is the girls that were in the pageants with her. So that says a lot because I don't know, I think of beauty contests and pageants, I think they're kind of all backstabbing each other a little bit. I don't know. I don't know how you can get that many women around each other and not have a little bit of that stuff going down. So just the fact that, yeah, that her fellow contestants said these things about her, I thought that was, that's the one thing that people remembered about her. Not that just she was pretty, but that she was very kind to all the other girls. And her as she grew up, as starting to become a teenager, living in New Orleans, she was Miss American Legion, and then at age 15, she became Miss New Orleans, and she was apparently I couldn't find a photo of it, but one newspaper article said, um, she had a they placed a bright, elegant crown on a teenager's head, and I thought that was I mean, I think 15, I'm like, I don't think that should be in a but different times, very different times, so we have to remember that. Um, and then later she competed in the Miss America pageant. Now this is a little different from Miss America and Miss Universe. This isn't the what we know now because those pageants I don't believe started to the 50s. I think like 1952 if I'm remembering correctly. If somebody else knows, let me know. So this isn't the same thing, but still, she was beautiful. She was crowned Miss America, or at the time they actually called it Miss United States. And this in that time it was in Galveston, Texas. And she was also in the finals with all these foreign beauties. That's quoted from the newspaper. And she emerged as Miss Universe, and she was wearing a blue bathing suit, and it only cost $2.98, and it had a little white belt on it, and then her other she only had I guess they only had 2 things that they wore. They had a swimsuit and a gown dress, and it was a $3.75 cotton dress that she won the pageant in, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure if we figured out what that was back in, like, 1930, probably isn't still gonna be a whole lot of money, and what women spend on beauty pageants nowadays, I can't even imagine, uh, how much those dresses and gowns and everything else cost, so, just the fact that she won against all these women, and, I mean, goodness, she's competing with Italian women, and wow, I mean, that's a lot, but she won. She got, $2,000 in cash, and she had a silver plaque, and of course, she got a sash. So I'm gonna go back in my video to where I should have inserted a photo there somewhere. We'll go back. Look at none of these photos. So this is her. Is that the make sure that's the right one. I'm gonna let it play here for a second because I don't wanna miss any of because these photos are so cool. I pulled some of these from newspaper.com. So there she is. I'm she's just look at that smile on her face. She's just glowing. I look at beauty contestants and I'm just like, they're all like they all look so cheesy to me, right? They all have that same painted on smile that it looks like, their faces are set in stone. But look at her. She's just happy. She does not look like a 15-year-old. Um, far Far from it, but she's just gorgeous. She's got this big old crown on her head. She's just beautiful, and I love her smile. Let me pull up get back to my notes here, and let's see. And this was really interesting that I read because I love these old newspaper articles. Um, they asked her a question about boys. And I'm thinking to myself, like 15 years old, I was probably a little boy crazy, but back then, 15 years old, right? They're probably starting to think about being married and raising a family, right? But not our girl. She said, this is her reply to being asked about boys. She said, boys? And then she said, boys are all right in their place, but the girl who has a career ahead of her Wait, a career ahead of her can't afford to waste her time in parties and automobile rides and late dances. She has to work. And I absolutely love that. I think she obviously wasn't, she had something in her head. She had goals. She knew what she wanted to do. She had a good heart, it seems like, as well. And yeah, she's had some ambition that went beyond, I mean, somebody taught her well. Stay away from boys, get a job, stay away from boys, which is kind of what my mom told me too. But yeah. So the newspapers, they labeled her, they called her both Miss Universe and Miss United States. And with her arms raised up high in triumph, she has the sash across her chest, and the Hollywood Scout started to take notice of her already. And in 1931, Dorothy changed her name from Dorothy Dell Goff to just Dorothy Dell. That was her stage name. And she accepted an offer to appear in what will be the last edition of the Ziegfeld Follies. And this lasted for about 42 weeks, and she got into what they, I'm not sure what these were. They're Vitaphone musical shorts, because she did have a very lovely singing voice as well. I think they said she had, oh, shoot. I thought they said soprano, but there was something else in there about it as well. I wonder if I can, here, I still have the one of the articles, which I will put this um, in my show notes. I think this is the one where I read what her, let's see. There it is. Nope, that's not it. We'll find it here. Oh, maybe this isn't the one. I can't remember, but she had a very lovely singing voice. Um, I don't think it was just like a soprano, it was something else, but, so anyway, this is her. Here's her they're gonna go back just a little bit. There she is, arms up. Come on, stop it. There we go. Is it gonna let me play and pause where I wanted to? There we go. I think the next one is arms raised, so bear with me, guys. There it is. Yeah, just so happy. I'm gonna go to the next one. So she starts with, wow, she's smoking, I'm telling you. Um, I did not look like this at 18. I wish I did, but I didn't. Um, oh, Rubicon says so I was talking about what the Vitaphone musical shorts were. Rubicon says they're the little movie skits played before an actual theater movie, if I remember right, and I think you're right. I just didn't have time to look them up, but thank you, Rubicon. Gosh, you're a fountain of knowledge. I love it. So yes, so she did those, and she did 3 of them, and that was it. The studios were calling her, and she heads to Hollywood. Um, so in 1932, Dorothy signed a contract with Paramount Pictures, and she appeared in Little Miss Marker with Shirley Temple, and years later, Shirley Temple would recall Dorothy in her memoirs, remembering her warmth, her kindness, and the way she treated everyone with genuine care. And I think that says a lot. A little girl's gonna remember you that far into life when they did one movie together. Another movie she did was Wharf Angel, and I think that came, it says 1934, but one of these came out, I think, after she passed. Um, I've got a few here, let me pop up there. I'm gonna pop up because I do have the movies listed here, so hang on. I'm not sure who those handsome this is Shootworks, which she was in. She's 3rd on the list. That makes I think that's pretty it must be these guys that she was. So, it's probably Okie and Bernie. I don't know who they are, but and this is her in the poster for Wharf Angel, uh, with Victor McLaglen, and this is just a little excerpt from the newspaper with the last, with her name and Victor's. I just thought it was cool. I included it. This is her with, Shirley Temple, and it is just, like, just beautiful. I like her. Um, you guys can see why I wanted to do this, and this is from Little Miss Marker. I'm not sure how I should have probably looked and see how old Shirley was when she did this, but she's very little. There's just some Little Miss Marker. There we go. There's another one. Look at that dress. Wow. Um, I don't know who Adolphe Menjou is. I don't think I've ever heard of him. I think I know who Charles Bickford is, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But I do know a lot of these old stars because I watched so many movies with my grandma. Um, Turner Classics is always on at her house. So let's see. And let's okay. So obviously this girl, look, I mean, she's beautiful. She wasn't just an extra or set dressing. They all said she had presence and charm and poise. Critics loved her, the studios loved her, the actors that worked with her loved her. Everyone seemed to have very good things to say about her. And she was bold and talented, and she had so much promise. She was definitely going to go above and beyond. Now, one thing I did find that before she passed, she was slated to be in the movie Now and Forever with Gary Cooper, but she passed away, and that role was taken by Carol Lombard. So you kinda have to wonder what if she didn't something didn't happen to her so young, what she would have become. So, I think that says a lot. Carol Lombard is, like, right? Like, amazing. So, just the fact that she gets the part after her, I think says a lot about what I wanna go look these movies up and watch them now. Um, Mark wants to know if she's single. She could be a ghost. Uh, I'll show you where she could be haunting if she is. Um, but we're gonna get to, June 8th, 1934, and I just labeled this the crash. So, let me pop up I'll let you guys look at there's some absolutely gorgeous photos of her, so I'm gonna let these play through. I just think she's just perfect, and, like, she's 19, 18, 19, and she's just yeah, I'll just let them play. Oh, that was twice. And there we go. I'm gonna pause it right there because this is where we are. Um, so this is the tragic I'm gonna hang on here. I'm gonna I like to read some of these stories as they appeared in the paper at their time. Oh my gosh, why is that so tiny? Except now it's so tiny on my screen that I can't read it, but let me you know what? I think I can read it from my phone. Or did I load it? Actually here. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna do me any good. I can't read that either. Alright, I'll get it on my phone so I can read it. Oop, 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 go back, go back. Alright, stick to the slideshows. I think that's what the computer's telling me to do. So here we go. Um, so this article isn't the one I'm gonna read from, but this has lots there's the car, aftermath, and I agree with you, Rubicon. I think she would have been an icon. I think we would have heard about her, like so many of the other big screen actresses, and she sounds like she had a good heart, she was a good person, something you don't hear a lot about many of the Hollywood ladies from this time period. Most of them had some kinda scary reputations. Scary. Yeah. So and I think Darlene says her face is absolutely perfect. Um, and yeah, I know Shirley Temple, like, I always thought she was so adorable, and, Rubicon says her eyes are so intense. Mia B, love the old 30s and 40 movies. I still do. Um, yeah, when I go visit my granny, we there's always one playing, and I get sucked into it every time, and she's always I'll be like, "Oh, that's so and so," and she's like, "You remember that?" I'm like, "Grandma, I've only been watching these movies with you since I was, like, 4, or probably even before then." But so, yeah, Turner Classic, always on at my grandma's house, so I'm shocked that I had never heard of her before. So, just because I've watched so many of those old movies, but a couple of these actors that she was um, in movies with I hadn't heard of, but, I mean, I probably would've if something hadn't happened to her, so, um, and let's see, big impact I'm just gonna post some of your guys' comments up here for yeah, 'cause she is gorgeous, she's just wow, right? And did I post this one up there? Yeah, here we go. Alright, I'm gonna scroll down, um, and Gary Cooper, one of my all-time favorites. Look, yeah. If I was alive back then, I probably would have been a stalker. I would have been, and they didn't have, like, bodyguards like they do now, so I definitely would have got arrested at some point too, but yeah. Right, Rubicon, if she'd lived, she's just had all of that for so young. It's just I can't even think about this stuff. Like, when I was that age, I was just stupid. Yeah. Um, yeah, just beautiful girl. More. Yeah, I haven't heard of her either, but we are now. So, hopefully, yeah, I'm gonna go check out some movies with her and watch a few of these. I just I couldn't close up Metairie Cemetery without, talking about her just because we're here, might as well. Um, but I'm gonna read from one of the articles in the newspaper, and this is gonna, it's pretty rough, but, because they did put a lot of details in for back in the day when it came to accidents but it's not that terrible. I've seen worse. So, the headline is, "Speeding car driven by surgeon is demolished going at high speed." And this is dated January 8th, and it's Pasadena, and the curtain was rung down here today on one of Hollywood's briefest though most spectacular careers. Dorothy Dell Goff, 19-year-old beauty contestant winner, former Ziegfeld Follies girl, New York stage actress, and radio artist, was killed shortly after 2 a.m. in an automobile accident. Her companion, Dr. Carl Wagner, prominent young, I think that's young, there's like a crinkle in the paper page, from a Pasadena surgeon and socialite who figured in the police probe. This is an interesting story. Um, Police probe several months ago into the mysterious, still unsolved murder of Dr. Leonard Shiver, a leading dentist and also active socially here. was fatally injured in an accident. He died 6 hours later, and they're talking about Dr. Carl Wagner, the one that was in the accident with Dorothy. Um, and Miss Dell's death was as spectacular as her swift climb to Hollywood fame. She and her companion had just left an Altadena inn where they attended a gay party, apparently traveling along a highway leading to Pasadena at a very high rate of speed. Police said the large sedan Dr. Wagner was driving hurtled from the road. It sheared 2 telephone poles. Here, where's the rest of my story? Alright, hang on. I don't know where it went. Sheared 2 telephone poles. Come on. Can't be that far. Here. Is that there we go. It sheared 2 telephone poles at their bases, toppled them over streetcar tracks in the center of the street, then crashed into a concrete light standard, also breaking it off. The automobile was telescoped to about half its normal length. And I also read that there was um, some sort of boulder involved that the car hit as well. Uh, doesn't make mention of that in this story. And then it says, Beauty died immediately, says doctor. Dr. Wagner was thrown clear of the machine, but Miss Dell was penned among the wreckage. Surgeons at Pasadena Hospital, where her body was taken, said she apparently lived but a few moments after the crash. Miss Dell, executives of Paramount Studios, where she was under contract, said descended from an aristocratic lineage. Her father, Albert L. Goff, is a retired New Orleans businessman, having left the Louisiana metropolis where his daughter was educated about 4 years ago to accompany her to New York. And her mother reported in a state of collapse. The actress also was related to the late United States Senator Guy Shepherd Goff of West Virginia and Judge John W. Goff of Supreme Court of New York. Miss Dell's mother, who underwent an operation at the hands of Dr. Wagner, was reported in a state of collapse at Pasadena Hospital. Um, let's see. There's a kind of blanked out. It was a fold in the paper, but they said Mrs. Goff, her husband, and Miss Dell's sister, Helen, rushed to the hospital as soon as they were notified of the accident. So the reason that's how Dorothy met the doctor. He had done some surgery on her mother. I can't remember. I couldn't find exactly what it was, but she was so grateful. I think she was kinda just hanging out with him, but, I mean, he was also I don't know. I don't know if I'd call him handsome, but he's a surgeon, so that could have for a 18, 19-year-old. There's a different photo of him. I guess he's okay, but yeah, he wasn't married or anything like that, but I don't think he was. I didn't find anything, but he did have a little bit of scandal, it sounds like, because there was this other doctor, um, Dr. Leonard Shiver. He was a dentist in Pasadena, and the police were looking at Dr. Wagner in, um, in connection to that death. So, I might look into that because that sounds kinda cool. Not cool for Dr. Shiver, but yeah, it makes you kinda wonder, like, did something did he know the police were coming for him or something? I don't know. But poor, Dorothy getting caught in that. Uh, yeah, and in those times, that was, I mean, scandalous, right, Darlene? Yeah, I think he's but right, like, being a I mean, he saved her mother's life, it sounds like, and he's not too hard on the eyes, and he's a surgeon. So, you'd go out with him too, I'm sure. So, yeah. and that's what Dorothy was doing. Did it say how old he was? It just says she was 19. It doesn't say how old he was, though. Wonder where he's buried. I should look that up. I could do that. Um, and hi, Anne. I saw you pop in. Hi. Sorry about that. Uh, I was in the middle of a story. Sometimes I get caught up in them. So yeah, 2 telephone phone poles sheared in half, um, and then some sort of cement thing. It's shocking that he even survived long enough to, make it to the hospital, but he was thrown. This is where they were having a party, and I found this one. I thought it was pretty cool. I like these old photos. I love these vintage postcards. So this is dun, dun, dun. I said the name, but where is it? They were at a gay party here, and that means a happy party, guys. Um, where did it I swear it said that, right? Yeah, there it is. The Altadena Inn. So they were at a party here. I mean, it looks pretty cool. So that's where they were till 2 a.m. No daughter of mine's gonna be out that late. But here is the car. So we know why she didn't survive. They didn't have airbags or seatbelts or anything else. So, Tiff, I don't know what kind of surgeon he was. I'm Now I kind of want to know. I'm going to look real quick because I want to see how old he was too, because he couldn't have been too terribly young, but not that that mattered that much back then. Young girls married much older men. Dr. Carl Wagner, Pasadena, California. Let's see what pops up. Dr. Carl, here's his find a grave. All right. So he was 36 years old. Oh wow. He grew up in Lincoln Park, Chicago. Attended the Francis W. Parker School. Ooh. He graduated from Yale University and the Rush College of Medicine. He practiced surgery in Pasadena, California, where he was a highly regarded general surgeon. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. In 1933, Dr. Wagner was questioned by the Pasadena police when his friend Leonard Shiver, DDS, was murdered and his body was discovered at the Scottish Rite Temple in Pasadena with 2 bullet slugs. Dr. Shiver was described as a ladies' man, and the theory was that Shiver's death was the result of a crime of passion. Unfortunately, Dr. Wagner was unable to provide the police with useful information, and the case remains unsolved. Um, Dr. Wagner's other touch with publicity, let's see, was on the evening of September 4th, 1935. Dr. Wagner escorted a young Hollywood starlet named Dorothy Dell to a party and dinner date. As he took Dell home, Wagner traveled at a high rate of speed, missed a curve in the road. Carl, the car traveled down an embankment, and the car top was sheared off. It flipped over, and see, this is a little different. There's like 2 different stories. But it says that it flipped over and traveled a substantial distance before coming into contact with a boulder. Miss Dell was killed instantly as she was trapped underneath the wreckage. Dr. Wagner was ejected from the vehicle and landed about 100 feet away. He was rushed into surgery but died about 6 hours later. Um, Dr. Wagner never married, and he was survived by his mother, Lois Carl Wagner, his sister, Dr. Louise Wagner, and brother-in-law. Yeah, we don't need them, but So there we go. That does not look like it rolled down an embankment, so I'm not sure what they're saying about that. I'm wondering if it's just gotten maybe confused over the years. The story that I read you, this is from, the day after. So this was the accident happened on the 8th. This article was on the 9th. So I'm gonna take the story from the 9th and lead more credibility to that, but, um, yeah. So these cars were here, I'm gonna hit the you'll see what this car looked like because it's kinda hard to imagine when you just um, see this, right? But how somebody would have I can't imagine he even survived that long, but this is what his car looked like before. So pretty fancy. I think that is that what they said it was? This is what popped up. Let's just go with this one. Um, but yeah, they were pretty indestructible, and I don't know what the high rate of speed for these cars were back then, but, I mean, you miss a curve, but yeah, no airbags, no seat belts, right? There's no protection in those cars, so it very easily, um yeah. So, yeah, his sister was a doctor. Did I say his mother? No, his mother wasn't, but his sister was, and that's pretty extraordinary for the times, for the '30s. And the sister's, husband was a doctor as well. So and I'll go forward here, and this is the now photo of where the accident occurred. It doesn't look the same anymore, but this is about the location. So if Morg is looking for her ghost, this is where he needs to go. It might be here. I don't know, it could be at Metairie Cemetery. Could be. There's a lot of ghosts there from what I've heard. Alright. And I'm just gonna play some of um yeah, they did have big yeah, I bet they did get up to a pretty good rate of speed with the horsepower that those, vehicles had in them back then, and yeah. Ugh, it's just yeah. I hope it didn't have something to do I hope he didn't kill somebody because that would make me, this is, um, a little this was oh, was I gonna read this one? I think I was gonna read this one too. It says, "Fight for Stardom won after struggle," and this is from New Orleans, June 8th. Says Dorothy Dell, who was killed in an automobile accident near Pasadena, California, started her march to movie stardom in a $2.90 bathing suit. When she was a young girl, she left her Hattiesburg, Mississippi home and came to New Orleans, a fresh blonde-haired small town beauty. There was no uh, there were no bands Yep, okay. There were no bands to meet her or citizens to cheer, but it didn't take the slim Mississippi beauty long to appear before the spotlight. She entered her first beauty contest at the Orpheum Theater and finished second. That was her first and last second place. The next year, 1930, the same Dorothy entered the beauty contest to select an entry for the international show at Galveston, Texas. She won, but the pageant closed with no money in the treasury. Oh, so she didn't get her $2,000. Oh. Undaunted, she was determined to make the trip as best she could. She spent um she spent the money 290 what was it? 298 on a white bathing suit and 375 more on a fresh bright cotton frock. She got a reduced rate railroad ticket to Galveston. And the next page. And there was a part here. I think I've got this on my phone. It was really sweet um it was really sweet because it talked about her mother, how her mother was um No, maybe not. Maybe that wasn't this article. I think I read too many articles on her. Um, but it was her mother wasn't your typical, uh, Hollywood parent either. She or her father, she they stuck with their daughter, protected her, made sure she wasn't, even though, I mean, she was obviously very beautiful, very alluring. They didn't leave her to the wolves, so to speak, and, yeah, they seem like they were great, very good parents. They were I mean, they had a Hollywood beauty on their hands, and it seemed like they were doing right, so I think uh she would have had a wonderful career, I think, had it not been cut so short. So this is her tomb there at Metairie, and so oh, wow. So Tiff says, nine that's, so for a dollar, 1948 $19.48, now to a dollar then. Pretty I don't know. Is that a pretty decent bathing suit? Actually, no. I mean, that's kinda average, right? But I thought they said somebody, that she had, her family was well off, so I'm a little confused, but maybe they had been at one point, but weren't any longer, but this I mean, still to be buried here, that's a pretty nice tomb, so, yeah. And hello, Dean, welcome back. I haven't seen you in so long. You're right at the right time when we're talking about graves. Um, but that is still not a very I mean, you gotta think, those some of those ladies probably, if there were international, uh, beauties competing in this pageant, I bet they had some pretty expensive swimsuits and gowns, but that is wild. Alright, I'm gonna hit play, and that yeah, that's very crooked. That's not my fault. I didn't take this this is from Find a Grave, but here's some more photos of her. Just think she was just gorgeous. Alright. Is it still going? Nope. Okay. I guess that was well, let me go back. I'm gonna end on her. There we go. Alright. I'm gonna leave her up because I do have the story of her burial here. My nose would stop itching. Let me find it. You guys gotta give me just a second. I have so many there's just too many notes. I need a secretary. I need Tansy to start working as the producer that she's supposed to be. Because they had a very maybe it's in my notes. Actually, I think it's in my notes. Um, and then another story actually says, let's see. Um, let me go down. All right. So I did tell you guys about the Gary Cooper, correct? Yes, because she was her next scheduled film was to be with Gary Cooper, and again, Shirley Temple was in that movie. Was in that movie as well. Now and Forever, and Paramount gave that to newcomer Carol Lombard. She was married to Clark Gable. Is she the one that was married? To Clark, I forget. They were all married to so many people. I lose track. So her body was returned to New Orleans and laid to rest at Metairie Cemetery. There seemed to be a little confusion because I think people thought, the Hollywood Pasadena papers were putting it out that she was gonna be buried back in Mississippi and Hattiesburg, but her family was living in New Orleans, and that is indeed where they took her, and her funeral services were held in New Orleans, and she was taken to the cemetery by a squad from the American Legion. Because remember, she was crowned Miss American Legion, New Orleans, and The New Orleans mayor and the city council members were all pallbearers, and the American Legion wrote the final prayer for the service, and it's just a little short, and it says, "We recall your faithfulness to us and your loyalty to the tradition and ideals of the American Legion, and we bid you, Dorothy, a last farewell." And I'm almost getting choked. And Dorothy's mother was devastated. She did have one more daughter. Um, she was heartbroken, and eventually she is in this tomb with her daughter. So when she passes away, I think it was in oh shoot, I don't have her death date on here, but when she passes away, her mother is interred in the same tomb with her daughter. So even though they were separated for a while in life, they were reunited afterwards. And we all know I've told you about how these tombs work. So they definitely were reunited. I didn't see that anybody else was buried there with her. So it should just be mother and daughter. I didn't see anything for the sister. But I think the sister was married, so perhaps she's buried with her husband. But I thought that was very sweet. Did I have anything else? And so this is probably one of those stories that we just don't hear about these from Hollywood. Um, there's no scandal. The doctor wasn't married. Well, maybe he had a little scandal. Maybe he murdered somebody allegedly. I don't know. Something happened, but he wasn't married. It seemed like they were just out on a date. She was 19 years old, for the times. I mean, she was old enough to be married, so but she didn't have any scandals. There's no drugs, alcohol. She wasn't being exploited by Hollywood. Um, just a totally different story than what you typically find from these starlets. But unfortunately, she was just I mean, she was so bright. I just she had all these crowns, this bright, beautiful girl, um, and she only got a few films, but it seems like she did leave a pretty lasting memory, and with all those people who knew her, Shirley Temple remembered her. When I was researching and looking into her, there's still articles that they print on her even now, so she's not forgotten. So even if I hadn't done this story, she's still out there. She's still alive in the memory of people. But yeah, she's at Metairie Cemetery. And next time I go, I'm definitely going to bring some flowers for her for her tomb. And let me see. So I put some other stuff here, but um, but that's it. So that is Dorothy Dell. I hope I did her story justice. I've really got to get my notes down and, back up, but yeah, her eyes just I this is I left this is the photo that I love the most of her. I mean, they're all beautiful. I don't think any of them she didn't take a bad photo. So even the older ones where she was Miss Universe in the swimsuit, I mean, she looked spectacular. So, but, I thought I wanted to leave off with this one, and I just think she looks so gorgeous, but I think she should have just had so many more years except for, yeah, an accident, somebody else driving, and, yeah, very sad, and, Rubicon says, yeah, she did, Carol Lombard did marry Clark Gable, but she died too. Yeah, wasn't, she the one that it was a plane crash with Carol Lombard too, I think, right? I think, yeah. Um, but yeah, it's just tragic, but gosh, I mean, she did live a lot in 19 years because I don't think a lot she's remembered. I mean, she only did like the 3 films, I think, right? I mean, she did the Ziegfeld Follies. she did those little Vitaphone commercials, but I mean, she packed a lot into those 19 years, it sounds like. So, and just that thing about the boys, about, like, she's gonna get a career and, boys are fine or whatever. Like, I I would have liked her, I think, if I'd met her. I like her now. I would have liked her even more probably if I would have met her, and I wish I could. I am definitely I hope you guys I'll post these movies again that she was in, and, maybe I'll look them up and somehow we can do I don't know, we'll do a movie night or something with them, but Little Miss Marker is the one that she did with, uh, Shirley Temple, and gotta keep scrolling here. The other one that's Little Miss Marker. The other one is Shoot the Works and Wharf Angel. Now, Wharf Angel looks like one that I think I might have actually seen that. Like, it looks really familiar. Preston Foster. So I'm gonna look those up, and I think we should all, look up those movies. Here, I'm gonna do you guys one. I'm gonna put them in the chat, so if you guys want to I should have probably posted a little. Wharf Angel and Little there's Wharf Angel, Little Miss Marker. You guys like old films like I do, um, and Shoot the Works. Alright. Hopefully, they're still out. Uh-oh. YouTube rejected my comment. I'm the channel. Ugh. So, let me post them up here. The Wharf Angel, uh, Little Miss Marker, and for whatever reason, they do not want me, to post, Shoot the Works, but that is called Shoot Pew Pew the Works, since it won't let me play it. And I'm gonna pop this down here. I'm gonna remove this because I'm just gonna talk real quick about what I'm gonna do Saturday. And like I said, so Thursday, I'm not gonna have a live. Ernie wants to play trivia. I could get some, for Sunday. No, well, no, Sunday we're gonna finish up with the ghost story, but I'll bring back the ghost trivia soon. Probably as soon as I finish up all the I got a lot of content from New Orleans, and I'm so happy, and now it looks like it's starting to warm up outside, so you get at least one of my lives a week is gonna be in the cemetery. So, instead of me sitting here yakking at you and disturbing your nights, um, yeah, I'll be live at the cemeteries doing that now that it's warmer, and I'm not gonna freeze to death while I'm out there. So, this is what I'm gonna do on Saturday. I'm gonna be pew pew somewhere. Yes, that's it. Thank you. If somebody else wants to put shoot YouTube does not want me to put that into my own chat, so I don't know. Maybe it's some oh, is it because I said shoot? That that might be it. I don't know. Frickin' YouTube sometimes. Loot the works. I like charcuterie the works. Oh, oh, you did makeup work? Oh, I'm proud of you, Ernie. You get a s I'm gonna put a star next to your name. Boop, there you go, you get a star. Alright. So this is where I'm going on Saturday. I'm gonna take you guys here. This was my birthday wish, is was to go to get to Rosehill. My birthday's still, a little bit away yet, but, um, Bessie's gonna be gone, so we're gonna go early for my birthday. But this is Rosehill Cemetery. This is just north of Chicago, like, it's still in the Chicago stuff. So and I don't like the Chicago stuff, but I do love this cemetery. And I've talked to you guys before about a few of the statues, the memorials that are in the cemetery. So you're probably, hopefully, you're going to recognize a few that I have talked about. So this is Rose Hill. and it's pretty fancy. It actually had its own train depot at one point. This is the this is where you come into it, and apparently people get locked in here pretty often on purpose, sometimes even, it sounds like. It is reportedly haunted. Esty and I are not gonna get locked in here, 'cause I'm not going to jail. I dated a couple Chicago police officers, and with my luck, that would be who would show up. So, but, I mean, it looks like a castle entrance, so um, hopefully we'll have some sun that day. It is, supposed to rain a little bit. This is I think this is the chapel on the grounds. Um, this is the mausoleum. Why did it do that? That's weird. This is this is the part I didn't know they had until just a couple days ago because I was looking up. I got my list for where all the stuff that I'm gonna hit and take you guys to, so I know a little bit about it before I get there. This is actually an elevator for caskets, and I'm not 100% sure how this worked out. I know it was connected to the train depot that used to be there, and it was constructed during the Civil War for the caskets that were returning from the soldiers back to Chicago, and somehow, I'm not sure of how it worked out, I will find out, but this is one of only a few that are still in existence, so I'm really excited about this one. Like I said, I'm not really certain how they work, um yeah, I'm not really sure, but it's an elevator for caskets, and it worked at the depot. That's what it says on the website, so we're gonna see. I'm not going up it. Even if it works, I'm not going up it. And you may recognize her. This is Mrs. Pierce and her baby. I talked about this memorial. This one is supposedly haunted, but nobody seems to know why. Um, yeah. But I've talked about her before, so we'll learn more about her. Um, she passed away and her husband, um, she was originally at Lincoln Park Cemetery, which is now a park and a zoo, was once a cemetery, which let's hope they got everybody. And many of them were moved here to Rosehill. She was, Frances, and she passed away, and then 4 months later, her baby girl passed away as well. So, the father was pretty distraught, obviously, uh, when they disinterred her from Lincoln Park. They brought her here, and then he had this memorial placed on their graves, and it's one of the most iconic. I think I can't say it's the most beautiful because there's 2 other ones that are really darn too close. I can't say, but she is protected in a glass case, thankfully, so you can see she looks pretty darn pristine. I'm not sure if they ever take that off to, like, clean in there or anything, but, um, well, I see some dust on her, but I don't know. I'm not sure if there's, like, a preservation society. I will find out, though, because 'cause I'm gonna be all about the questions. So, here are some of the monuments. There's a lot. There's a couple to the Civil War. There's this old guy. Yeah. I should know who he is because I did look him up, but I've already forgotten. But this is an actual what he's supposed to have looked like. It looks like he was like a nice. Let's hope he was a nice old grandpa. But that's one that I'm gonna hit. I mean, record. Here's another of the Civil War monument. There's actually the one and only Revolutionary War soldier buried in. I don't want to say this wrong. I think he's the only one buried in Illinois. He is here at Rosehill Cemetery. So I'm definitely um, I'm gonna bring a penny because I think that's what I'm supposed to do, right? When we visit the military graves, I think is a penny, right? Just to say that you visited. I think that was it, right? Um, so I think Tiff, I think hers is oh, I can't remember now if it was marble or because they put it under that stone or that encased in that glass. So I don't know how if that was marble, I wouldn't think it would have to be under the glass. So, but I'll find out. I have already forgot, but I did cover that one. But there's so many other ones that I've, covered too from here. But, there's Lulu, the little girl, and she is also they call her the girl in the glass box, and she was a young girl that died tragically too young as well. And I told her story. I'll tell it again when I'm there at the cemetery. So I do plan on giving you guys all that information again once I get there. So that is why I'm not doing a stream on Thursday night because I want to get all of this stuff somehow put out that I can read this when I get to the cemetery. I'm not even sure how I'm going to do it yet. So I'm just going to probably be bumping along until I kind of figure out what I need to do when I get to the cemetery. Is that it? I think that was it. And then there's also one other that I'm really excited about seeing because I don't know how I forgot this. Here, I'm gonna remove and then I'll not be so glitchy here, at least for a few minutes. But yeah, there's another one of another girl. Her name is Maddie May, and she is a full statue. I'm not sure what she's made of either. She's not covered in glass, so she may actually be marble. But she is reclined like on one of those chaise lounge, and she is reading a book. And I have seen photos of that, and I didn't know it was at Rosehill until I went to the Rosehill website and found her there. And so we have the Revolutionary War soldier. There's a lot of Darlene, you said yes to the penny? Um, yes to the penny? Okay. I'll bring a penny and put on his maybe I'll even bring a wreath. Um, maybe I'll do that. I'll bring him a wreath, since he is a Revolutionary War soldier, and now, because being the daughter of the American Revolution, I'll bring him one. I'll do that for him. I think his name is William, um, yeah, I can't remember Watson, maybe? You guys are gonna learn on Sunday. And then so Lulu, Maddie, Frances, and her daughter, the old guy in the chair. His name is William too, but I can't remember what his last name is. But yeah, but there's some fountains, there's some pools, all sorts of really pretty little things that we can hopefully will be fun and interesting for you guys to see too. So, and you'll just have to bear with me because I probably will fall like I did in New Orleans. And so if you don't tune in, I will edit that out. So if you don't tune in on Saturday, like I said, about noon, it'll be noon Central Time. I didn't even think about that. Uh, so noon Central Time. So that's, well, maybe not right at probably 1 o'clock. Let's say one. And that'll be 2 o'clock Eastern, and then so on and so forth. So yeah. So we'll be in Central Time Zone on that day. But yeah, that's for Saturday. So I'll put out a little reminder probably Friday night before I leave. Um, yeah. So that's it. All right. That's it, guys. Ernie, I know. See what you when you miss the live and I fall, you guys, yeah. So tune in. Probably um I will probably fall again, Ernie. It happens. I've tripped over when I get filming in cemeteries, right? I kind of lose myself. I get focused in on these headstones and monuments and statues, and yeah, this girl gets all like my eyes start to cross and I don't even know where I'm walking any longer. So, yeah, fun. So, yeah, I will, so on Saturday, I will tell you what all of these guys are, Chef, I will tell you what they're all made of, and I will spell out their names for you. Yeah. But, I can't remember which episode it's maybe I'll po I'll look back and see which episode it was, and then I'll post it in the Discord if you guys wanna go back and look at the part on Francis. I think I've gone back and put chapters in for everybody for all of these, so it should be pretty easy to find, but I can't 100% remember, what she's made of, but it seems like it wasn't marble because she is protected, and the same with, the, little girl in the glass box. So, that's why they're in those. So, that's why I think that they might not be, made of marble. I think they're made of, like, maybe that really soft stone, but yeah. So, that's it. Did I miss anything, guys? What did I see? Um, ooh, Ernie, what you getting all fancied up for? No, Ernie, you gotta tell me. I need details. If there's something going on, I need to know. I gotta live vicariously through. Oh, you guys gotta check out my cool new, print that I got while I was in New Orleans at Lafayette Number 1, the cemetery. This was the prints they were selling there at the museum gift shoppy deal. But it's a really cool I think it's watercolors, but, it's just the print of it, but it's artist signed. They had another one that she did too, but cost issues, I was like, I had to pick one or the other because it is signed, so it costs a little bit more. But, they had one other one there that was really cool that this artist has done a series of them. So, but it's the oven vault, and they've got the little crosses on the top, and it's supposed to I think it's Storm Over the Cemetery or something like that, but yeah, I fell in love with it, so it had to come home with me. I got it into my suitcase somehow, and yeah, now she's framed and up on my wall. So that's my favorite thing right now, and I'm so happy that I got her. But all right, guys, I got to wrap up. I love you guys. Thank you for showing up tonight. I will see you Saturday. I will see you live from Chi Town, and hopefully, I get out without falling um, or hitting my head on something. Because yeah, stuff stuff happens. All right. I'll see you guys Saturday, and thanks a lot. All right. I'm gonna end with the horses. All right, here we go. Bye.